And joining us now is the new chairman of the Cattlemen's Beef Board, Chuck Coffey. Chuck, thanks for coming to the show today.
Appreciate this opportunity, Kevin.
So let's begin. Just tell folks a little bit about your operation and your background.
I live in southern Oklahoma with a wife, and we have 3 kids in their 20s. My wife and I are both 5th-generation ranchers, not necessarily on that ranch, but our families have been in that business. We run a cow-calf commercial operation and manage about 800 head of cows in southern Oklahoma on native rangeland.
And have a big job ahead as chairman of the Beef Board. Tell folks a little bit about what the primary goals are of the checkoff.
You know, you can sum that up in a couple of simple words. It's to drive beef demand, and we feel we're doing a great job of that. We've got a lot of things that show us that we've had good return on our investment and so forth, and there's a lot of numbers out there I could give you today or at a later date at some time and show you what we do.
I'd like to follow up on that a little bit and tell us just a little bit about why the checkoff is important to beef producers. I mean, what kind of tangible results does it create?
Sure, the dollar that the producers give that come to the checkoff, or the 50 cents anyway that the checkoff gets, a lot of that money goes into like the U.S. Meat Export Federation, which opens up markets overseas and maintains those markets and promotes U.S. beef. And currently, our return is about $320 per head slaughtered. You know, we've got an $8 billion export market today, and that feeds back to my ranch and my family.
Other priorities within the checkoff that you'd highlight?
You know, the other priorities that I've seen, you know, we deal in areas of consumer trust and safety and innovation, and, you know, aside from just export growth, nutrition and health to kind of protect beef's image so people know that, you know, it's one of the healthiest, most nutritious products and best tasting, highest demand product in the world in terms of red meat consumption.
And we're having some pretty favorable demand occurring for beef products, aren't we?
We are. None of us expected to see prices as high as they are. I know everybody's going, well, we'd like them higher, and so would I. But with the amount of beef we've got on the market today and the supply that's there, and also with the competing meats, demand is excellent today in our industry, yes, sir.
So what's one thing you'd like people to know about the checkoff that may be a common misperception or just misunderstanding?
Oh, you know, the thing I want people to know is I work for the producers, and the checkoff, you know, it's a producer-driven entity, and we're charged with, our 100-member board is charged with spending those producers' money in the best way possible to promote and increase beef demand.
It really is producer-led and producer-driven.
Yes, sir, it is. And you don't realize that until you get into, you know, the beef checkoff, and then you understand all of a sudden that, you know, what it does for the value of our industry and keeping demand high and keeping us as profitable as possible.
Couldn't agree more. Thank you so much for all you do. You have an important role as we move ahead in this year with an expanding amount of protein of all species, and so we thank you for your leadership.
Well, thank you very much, and it was a pleasure to be here.